All right, Shalawam, Shalawam, it's Brother Masha coming back to you with some more precepts and another cold cut. Giving the course all honor, glory, and praise to how about Shemi Awashai. I want to give a mighty strong Shalawam to the brothers out there laboring, doing the work, especially the brothers in WFI. You know what I'm saying? The brothers that I labored with, you know what I'm saying? Mighty Shalawam to the ICAM out there, laying down their lives for this truth, being long suffering, diligent in this truth, fervent, and mighty men of valor. I want to give a mighty shalom to the sisters out there laboring. Continue to abide in the households. Continue to be diligent, circumspect. Proverbs 31. You know what I'm saying? Continuing to, abide in the works of the Lord. Being keepers at home, taking care of the children, keeping the household up. Mighty strong shalom to the elders of the house of David. Who brought us brothers into this truth. You know what I'm saying? We back with another lesson. And today's lesson is going to be Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. You know what I'm saying? These things are coming to pass quickly, and a lot of prophecies is breaking off. You know what I'm saying? So it's only right to, get into the scriptures, get into some prophecy today. All right, so today we're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 1. It says, the word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Now mind you, in verse 4 it says, spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. It didn't say concerning the other nations. It didn't say concerning Moab. It didn't say concerning Ammon. It didn't say concerning Canaan. It didn't say concerning the Pharisees. You know what I'm saying? It didn't say concerning Ethiopia. You understand? Or Cush. You know what I'm saying? It didn't say that. It said concerning Judah and Israel. Or Israel and Judah. Right? It says, for thus saith the Lord, we have heard the voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail. Right? Because there's a lot of effeminate men in these last days, man. You got men getting in their feelings. You got men who don't want to be bold for the Lord, for the name of the Lord. You got men who like to sugarcoat the word. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of effeminate men in these last days. But this is doublefold. You know what I'm saying? It says, ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail. Right? Because all these strong men and all these wise intellectual men in these last days, they're going to be brought low in this day, man. They're going to be in travail, man. Great travail. You understand? It says, and all faces are turned into paleness. The faces turned into paleness is the scaredness that people are going to be in, man. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be in fear, great fear in these last days when these things come to pass. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, right? It doesn't say the white man's going to be saved out of it. It doesn't say Esau's going to be saved out of it. It doesn't say Ammon or Moab. It doesn't say Ishmael. You understand? It doesn't say Tarshish. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't say Gog and Magog. It doesn't say that. It says, but he shall be saved out of it. Who is that he? That's talking about Israel, man. It's talking about the nation of Israel. It says he shall be saved out of it. It says, for it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off their neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. But they shall serve the Lord their God, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. You understand? So in these last days, this is what's coming upon the face of the earth, man. This is what's coming upon the face of the earth. This is the time of Jacob's trouble. This is a specific time for trials and tribulations to come to pass. You understand? Of a great mourning, great sorrow, great wrath in these last days. Let's go to Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1. Let's read this. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was, since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. Right? So everyone's going to be delivered that's found in that book. Right? But the main point I want to get at is that it says there's going to be a time like never before, man. Right? It says, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was, since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, that people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. So it's going to be a time like never before on the face of earth. It's not going to be like World War I, World War II, any of the civil wars. It's not going to be like the transatlantic slave trade when we was getting pooped on, women's periods, blood falling on the men, getting eaten alive by rats, sweating, people, brothers and sisters dying. You smell dead corpses on the bottom of the ship. You know what I'm saying? You know, people stacked on top of each other like sardines. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like that. It's going to be worse. You know what I'm saying? Your children dying. You know, slaves jumping over the ship because they don't want to eat swine's flesh. You know, they rather get eaten by sharks. It's not going to be like that day, man. It's going to be worse. 10 times worse. 1,000 times worse, man. You understand? No time in history is going to be like this day. You understand? So let's go to Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. Right? Let's read this. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Right? And that's what's going on, man. You know, a lot of people may say, oh, well, this has been going on for long periods of time. You know what I'm saying? But it's at the time where it's reaching its peak. You know, it's at the time where it's more inevitable for it to happen. You know what I'm saying? It says, for nation shall rise against nation, right? That's why you got the UN, you got Taiwan, you got North Korea, you know, you got Iran, Gaza, Israel, China. You know, everybody's getting ready for war, man. Everybody's doing these war plays and, you know, all these things, man. You got ships invading borders of other countries, you know, so all hell's about to break loose. You know what I'm saying? That's what's about to happen, man. You know, these things are slowly coming into place, and for those of you who don't see these things, it's because you're not keeping watch in these last days. You understand? You just not keeping watch. It's playing upon tables. All right. Verse 8, it says, all these are the beginnings of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Right? It says, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved, man. Right? A lot of people think they saved now. A lot of people think just because they got dunked in some water that they're saved. A lot of people in this lifetime think they're saved because, you know, they went to church all their lives, you know, and they accepted Christ. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of people are deceived in these last days, man. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Let's go to Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5 through 7. Right? Because I want to touch on the point where it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. That's Matthew 24 and 12. Right? Let's get this. Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5. It says, Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5. Right? It says, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Right? So this is in the time of Genesis. This is before, you know, Yahushua, or who the world calls Christ, was about to flood the earth, man. He saw the wickedness of man upon the face of the earth, right? And it says, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And that's what's going on now, man. The imaginations of man is continually wicked in these last days. You know what I'm saying? You got kids that don't want to listen to their parents. You got parents that don't want to listen to their kids. You know what I'm saying? You got people going up to their jobs, fighting their bosses. You got people in school being forced to eat pork by their coaches. You got countries turning against themselves. The police turning against the citizens. You got people protesting on a mass scale in these last days. You got kids killing their parents because the parents wanted them to do something just as simple as throwing the trash out, and they didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? This is madness and evil going on the earth in these last days, man. Right? It says, and it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Right? It says, and the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. Right? It repented the Lord. You know what I'm saying? It made him wish he didn't do it, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what's going on in these last days, man. It's the same thing. There's no new thing under the sun. Yahweh Shai is going to return and set this place in order in these last days. Right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33. Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33. Right? Let's see what it says. It says, Ezekiel 33 and verse 33 says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. Right? So when you see these things come to pass, you're going to know that a prophet was among you. A lot of people don't believe, man. A lot of people don't believe in the Lord. A lot of people don't believe in the brothers who go out there and give themselves as a living sacrifice, staying out for 24 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? 24 straight hours a week. One whole day of teaching the word, prophesying, and bringing our people back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. A lot of people don't believe. But this is the same thing that happened in the days of old. And it's going to happen again. It's bound to happen. Regardless of how anyone feels, regardless of anyone's opinions, it's going to happen. Okay? Because why? Because the Lord spoke these things through his prophets. Everything that came to pass in the days of old are going to come to pass today. Right? Let's get this. In Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 25. Right? Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 25. It reads, since the days that your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt, unto this day I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily rising up early and sending them. Yet they hearken not unto me, nor incline their ear. Right? So the Lord, He sent out his prophets, man. He sent out his prophets, man. You know what I'm saying? But nobody wants to hearken. You understand? Everybody wants to be, confounded in their own beliefs and their own opinions. Right? So let's keep reading. It says verse 26, yet they hearken not unto me, nor incline their ear, but harden their neck. They did worse than their fathers. Right? So this generation is doing worse than their fathers, man. They punching the prophets. You might hear a few gunshots. You know what I'm saying? People just on the news, sometimes you may see on the news, the black Hebrew Israelites, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? They make us seem like a hate group or a wicked, a wicked cult. No, just because we believe in the scriptures from the book of Genesis all the way to the book of Revelation. We believe every single word written in this book. You know what I'm saying? And when we go out there and prophesy and teach his word, we're seen as a hate group. But no. We're just for our people and our people only. You know? So let's keep reading. It says, yet they hearken not unto me, nor incline their ear, but harden their neck. They did worse than their fathers. Therefore thou shalt speak all these words unto them, but they will not hearken to thee. Thou shalt also call unto them, but they will not answer thee. Right? So we call to our people. We call to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the real Israelites according to the scriptures. They don't want to hearken. They're the most stiff-necked people on the face of this earth. All these years we've been fighting and protesting, and yet we have still gotten nowhere in the society. Tell me why an Asian hate bill was signed last year just for Asians being shot up inside of a damn nail salon, but we didn't get no African American hate bill, no Mexican hate bill, no Native American hate bill. We didn't get that, but they did. Just one day of them all getting shot up, but we've been getting killed, pillaged, raped, robbed, and murdered all our lives. This don't make no sense. Y'all gotta see the patterns in these things, man. But it says, but this is just an example of how confused and wicked our people are and stiff-necked. Because the Most High shows us signs, but we still don't want to hearken to these things. Okay? Let's go down to verse 28. It says, but thou shalt say unto them, this is a nation that obeyeth not the voice of the Lord, their God, nor receiveth correction. Truth is perished and is cut off from their mouth, right? Truth is perished and cut off from their mouth. You got brothers and sisters in Islam. You got brothers who believe in these Alpha Omega clans and all these things, these sororities. You know, you got brothers and sisters believing in Christianity. You know what I'm saying? All these things that was created by man, all these things that was created by a specific man, the so-called white man, right? Even Islam was created by the so-called white man. You could read that in the Quran. You know what I'm saying? So all this is madness and folly, man. Our people just so divided and they so stuck in their ways. They don't even want to hearken for a minute. You understand? They don't even want to grasp just a little bit of this truth, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why John chapter 8. Let me get that real quick. John chapter 8, verse 32, man. Let me get this real quick. John chapter 8 and verse 32. It says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Right? This truth shall make you free, man. Who needs to be freed? Us, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, from this indoctrinated, wicked society that we've been deceived by for over 400 plus years. You understand? This wicked nation, this wicked generation. All right, so let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. It says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, right? Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. You understand? A lot of us young adults, you know, and I'm saying us because I'm a young adult as well. But the whole point of the matter is that a lot of us young adults, you know, we got a issue, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I see brothers and sisters walking around on their phone all day. You know what I'm saying? On damn TikTok videos, watching YouTube all day, all up in the madness and folly of this world, man. Indulged into this thing, man. Drowned into the philosophies of this world. Drowned into the ways of this society, man. In these last days, you got parents being killed by their own children. You know what I'm saying? A few weeks ago, a whole group of just all black women, young women, got taken and went missing in 1 week, and no cops went to go look for them whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So this is all the judgment of the Lord, man. This is all the judgment of the Lord at the end of the day. But a lot of our people, our young men and women, they wicked. You know? It says, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous. They want everything what everyone else got, man. You know, boasters. They always boasting about themselves. They always waiting to put on that new makeup. They always waiting to wear those new shoes and those beautiful clothes and flash themselves in the camera. You know what I'm saying? Then go out looking for a boyfriend, looking for a girlfriend. That's all they focused on. That's all they focused on these last days. They focus on the pleasures of this life. They still finding pleasures in these last days, man. You know, it says proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection. You know, they're without natural affection. They're not so quick to give their brothers a hug or give their sisters a hug. You know, they'll give that person that always gets them that weed, that person that always gets that strong drink, that wine. You know, they'll be cool with them. You know what I'm saying? But the person that tells them where they wrong at, the person that corrects them when they going off, they don't like that person, man. They want to be around the smokers and the drinkers and the partiers, man. The people who want to have fun all the damn time, man. That's madness, right? It says truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, despisers of those that are good. You know, namely the elect. You know what I'm saying? Those who are putting forth this word, who are teaching this word for what it is, who are teaching the truth in these last days. Prophesied. These things are prophesied that we would teach these things in these last days. That the Most High Yahweh would raise a prophets in these last days, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't like those people. They despise those people in these last days, man. It says traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Right? You got lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God in these last days, man. They rather smoke, they rather drink, you know what I'm saying? They'd rather have a mukbang where you get all the food that you want to eat that one day. You place it on one big table. You turn on a YouTube video, go live, and you just eat. You just eat and you talk to people on the live video. You know what I'm saying? You just got this big old table full of crab legs, lobster, shrimp, scallops, you know what I'm saying, pizza, wings, just one big old table, and you just, you know, it's just you. And you eat everything on the table, man. You know what I'm saying? Lovers of this, it says, let me read it again. It says, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, man. Now that's what we got going in these last days. And now it's getting more worse and worse as time goes on. People still living their best lives. They don't see the patterns that are going on. You got some people who know about coronavirus, what should I say? The vaccine. You know, Lord willing, I don't get, you know, jammed up. My life don't get jammed up because of this. But you know, you got people who know about the vaccine. You know what I'm saying? But they still indulge into the folly of this world. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to spread the truth. They don't want to teach this gospel. They don't want to teach the prophecies in these last days. You know? Let's keep reading. It says, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. Right? So from such turn away, man. You know, because you get indulged with the people like this, and and they gonna end up coming after you. You know, you gonna end up getting ramped up inside their madness that they got going for themselves. You know. So let's get let's keep going. It says, verse 6, for of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. Led away with diverse lust. You know, in these last days, you got people lusting after, oh, I want a man, I want a husband, I want a wife, I want this, that, and the third. I want somebody to love me. Finally, I want to drink. I just want to go out and experience things, experience new things. You know, I want to get my life together finally. You know, you got people who want to get their life together finally. You know what I'm saying? When all hell's about to break loose, You worried about getting your life together. Hey, bro, we got brothers and sisters in this truth who worried about getting to the kingdom of heaven, man. This place is not our rest. We just want the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? It says, verse 7, ever learning. So they're continually learning. You got people in the church who continually learning. You know what I'm saying? They learning. You know what I'm saying? It says, and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. You got people who always learning and learning. They go into school. They still going to college. They trying to get their degrees, their masters, their bachelor's degree. But they never ever it says ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. They never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. All this learning you've been doing all your life, all the 36 plus years of you being in the Christian church, 5 years, 10 years being in Islam, 16 years being in Taoism, you know what I'm saying? 17 years being a damn Satanism, 13 years being in the Catholic Church, and you never come into the knowledge of the truth. See that? Now this is prophecy right here. That people would not come into the knowledge of the truth. Right? So let's go to Matthew chapter 16 and verse 4. No, try to get this. Yeah, Matthew chapter 16 and verse 4. Right? It says, a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. Right? So this wicked, adulterous generation seeks after a sign. They want to know, why is everything happening the way it's happening? They want to know, is it the end of the world? If Christ exists, when is he going to come back? You got people like that in these last days. They want to know the signs of the times. But what does it say? It says, and there shall no sign be given unto it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. Right? There's not going to be this wicked generation is not going to receive a sign except for the sign of the prophet Jonas, which is the teaching of this word, which is the magnifying of the ministry, which is the brothers going out there in the highways and byways and preaching this word. This is a witness unto all nations, man. That is a sign that this wicked generation is going to receive. You understand? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 2. Right, Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 2. It says, hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. Right? So it says, I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. So the Lord has done everything the Lord has done everything he possibly can. Well, I wouldn't say possibly can. Let's take out that phrase. But the Lord has been doing everything for Israel, man. For the Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Man, woman, and child. But what? It says they have rebelled against me. So out of all the things that the Most High God has done for us, we have still yet rebelled against him. He brought us out the land of Egypt. We rebelled against him. You know what I'm saying? He brought us through the wilderness, and we wanted to complain. You know what I'm saying? So it says in verse 4, a sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers. And that's what we got in these last days, a seed of evildoers. Like I said, people just want to have fun and live their best life in these last days. And even if they don't want to live their best lives, they live in a normal, flatline life. A flatlined life. Just a basic life. They go to work, they come home, they chill. They do what they gotta do, they come home, they chill. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through Sunday, man. They live that basic life, but yet, what? They're still not coming into the knowledge of the truth. They're still not trying to seek out who they are in these last days. They still, in some way, indulge in folly and madness. Right? It says, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. So the Lord's people have gone away backward. Everything that the Most High God told us to do, we want to go back on it. He told us not to eat swine's flesh. We eat swine's flesh. He told us to keep the high holy days. And what do? We keep the holidays. He told us to wear fringes. We want to wear pants. We want to wear dresses. You know what I'm saying? He told us to he told the children to obey their parents, but now they want to kill their parents. They want to run out the house at night, do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? He told us, he gave us everything that we need. And what? We still wanted to backslide from the Lord, man. You understand? It says, why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. Right? From the sole of the foot even into the head, there is no soundness in it. Right? There's no soundness in it. The things that we do on a day-to-day basis don't make no sense to the Most High God. Not to me, not to man, but to the Most High God. The things that we do on a daily basis, it don't make no sense to him. You know, how we don't consider who we are, how we don't consider, after all these years of being raped, robbed, and murdered, pillaged, and what else? Being brought here on slave ships against our will. You know, all these things, and we don't consider that we could be God's chosen people. We don't consider that we could be the Israelites according to the curses of Deuteronomy 28. We don't consider that we could be the special people that he was talking about in Deuteronomy chapter 7. We don't consider these things. That we could be a royal priesthood according to the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9. Or that we're rich according to Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9 and 3 and 9. We don't consider these things. Right? It says, from the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. You know, so we have no healing. We have not been healed from the atrocities that have been done to us. Why? Because we continue in our sickness, wickedness. You know, that's why we ended up in all the rest of the captivity, the Assyrian captivity, the sub-Saharan slave trade, all these captivities that we've been in because of our rebellion towards the Most High Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God. You understand? So let's go to Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 22. Jeremiah chapter 4 in verse 22. It says, for my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish people. They are sottish children. Right? So the Lord says, my people are foolish. It says that they are sottish, which means stupid. Right? He called us stupid, man. Right? Then what it said, sottish children, and they have non-understanding. They don't have any understanding. They think every way that they go is right. They think up is down. They think down is up. They think left is right and right is left. You know what I'm saying? They when brothers go out there and teach the word, and we teach our people the laws, they think putting on fringes. When we tell them to put on fringes, they think that means keep them off. That's the type of spirit our people are rolling in these last days, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hearken to the Lord. They believe in grace and mercy and long suffering and patience and diligence, but they don't believe in all the other words in the scriptures. You know, all they believe in is, all I know is grace. All I know is mercy. All I know is that if I die, it's on the Lord's timing. That's the kind of spirit our people are rolling in these last days. Simple people in these last days. It says, how long shall I... my bad. It says, for my people is my people is foolish. Salakia. They have not known me. They are Sardis children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. Right? So our people are wise to do evil. That's all they know. Every day, that's all they know. You know what I'm saying? Every day. It's a constant thing with our people. You're smoking cigarettes. You're drinking. You want to go out and party. You don't want to. Women don't want to wear their dresses. They don't want to listen to the man. You know what I'm saying? Women don't want to stay in order. The men don't want to be leaders. The men want to be effeminate and homosexuals in these last days. You know what I'm saying? It says, but to do good they have no knowledge. Our people don't have no knowledge to do good, right? And what is the good? The good is the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the good, man, right? They don't want to hearken to the Lord. It's too hard for them. That's the kind of spirit our people are rolling in these last days, man. It's madness, right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 4. Isaiah chapter 3 verse 4. It says, and I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. Right? What is that talking about? That's talking about our men in these last days. They just want to be children in these last days. The men that are supposed to be leaders, be quiet. The men that are supposed to be leaders, they want to be damn children. You know, they don't want to take care of the household. They don't want to, at least try. At least strive for it. They don't want to go to work. They want to sag their pants. They want to go to the next damn club, the house club party, whatever you want to call it, the next house party. That's what they want to do in these last days. Right? It says, and I will give children to be the princes, and babes shall rule over them. Babes, man. Our men are babes, man. That's what this society has come to. Men don't want to work. Men don't want to labor. Men don't want to, get their households in order. Just keep reading it. It says, and the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, which means the child is going to behave wickedly against the elders of his people. Against his grandmother, his grandfather, you know what I'm saying? Against his mother, against the father. It says, and the base against the honorable, which means those who live in this society on a day-to-day basis, who go to work, come home, they do everything that, on a base, the base people, the people who don't really got a name. It says in the last days that the base against the honorable, that the base of our people, I would be base. My grandmother, my brother, my sister, my mom, my uncle, my auntie, my cousin, my niece, my nephew, whoever it is, they're going to be base. Those are the base people versus the honorable people, which would be the presidents, you know what I'm saying? Which would be the men that are respected and renowned in this society. It says, when a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruler be under thy hand. Right? So in the last days, that's what's going to be happening. You're going to have your own family members coming to you in these last days. They're going to be like, hey, give us some shelter, give us some clothes. We don't have enough. We don't have enough food. We don't have enough water. This, that, and the third. Right? Because there's going to be famines and pestilences in diverse places. Right? It says, thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand. In that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of thy people. So you may come over. So for instance, if I came over to my brother's house with my family, I'd be like, hey, we need some clothes, we need some food, we need some water. He ain't gonna be able to give it to me because he gotta provide for his own family. That's how bad it's gonna get in these last days. You understand? That's how bad it's gonna get. But our people don't see it. They don't want to prepare for it. They don't know how to prepare for it. They don't even think to know how to prepare for it. They just go about their day-to-day life, living their best life. Let's go to Salaki. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, the shoe of their countenance doeth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Right? So this generation is wicked. They declare their sin as Sodom. Homosexuality, men turning into women and women turning into men. The women rolling over the men these last days. The men being effeminate and homos. You know what I'm saying? Being weak in nature. It says, the shoe of their countenance doeth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. What does it mean they hide it not? That means they pride in these things. They take great pride in the ways that they act in these last days. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about the way they act. They don't care about the clothes that they wear. They don't care about anything, man. And that's what's going on here in Babylon the Great. Don't nobody care. They want to live their life, how they live it. And think that, God loves everybody, so, he's going to spare the homosexuals. No, that's against scriptures. That's totally against the scriptures. Let's keep reading. It says, verse 10, say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. So the righteous are going to eat the fruit of their doings in these last days. They're not going to be the ones struggling with food, struggling with water. They're not going to be the ones struggling for shelter. They're not going to be the ones who have to worry about their family members. You know what I'm saying? Whether their family members here or forbear in those last days or in these last days, Yahweh, he's not going to give it to him. He's not going to care. If your family wicked, your family's wicked. If your family don't want to hearken, then you on your own. But as long as you doing righteously, you're going to make it. You're going to eat according to the work of your hands. Right? Let's read that again. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. Right? So the reward of the wicked is going to be given to him. You got child molesters, murderers, thieves. All these people, they gonna reap what they sow. Verse 12, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Right? Children are their oppressors. What does that talk about? Let's talk about our men. The men that are supposed to be ruling and within our nation as a people, they're children. You know what I'm saying? They're children. They don't want to take that responsibility of being a man. It says, and women rule over them. Women rule over these men. They tell them what to do. They do TikTok videos with the woman. She got the damn the dog leash around the man's neck, walking him around. She tell him don't look a certain way, and if he look, he gets slapped in the face in public. He don't do nothing about it. You got women yelling at the men while they at work, bringing the kids to the job. Bringing the kids to the job, leaving the kids there with the father, while the woman goes out and does folly and madness. And guess what? The man got to deal with it because he don't want to lose his job. Because guess what? He got to pay that child support. That's what we got going on these last days. That's what's going on here in Babylon the Great. Right? It says, a woman rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. They which lead thee cause thee to err. So the men are supposed to be the leaders, but guess what? With the men be the leaders, and the women, it's naturally in the woman to be guided by the man. So with that being said, when the man falls off and the man's doing wickedly, the man wants to sag his pants, the man wants to smoke weed, the man wants to drink, the man wants to leave his family, leave his children, and go out and do whatever he wants. The man wants to commit adultery, this, that, and the third. Guess what? The woman's gonna follow right after. The woman's gonna do wickedly. She's gonna treat the righteous man wrong. You know what I'm saying? Talk about I want a good man, but want to go to every club to find a good man. You know, it's madness. It says the Lord standeth up to plead and standeth to judge the people. The Lord will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people, which are the elders, and the princes thereof. For ye have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of the poor is in your houses. Right? So, hey man, this is what's going on. You know, and this is just the beginning of Jacob's trouble. This is just the wickedness that we counted. The wickedness that we proclaiming on the housetops, man. You know, the wickedness of our people. You understand? Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 1. And then let's get Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. Right? Let's get this. Jeremiah chapter 9 and verse 1. And so, oh, that my head were waters and mine eyes a fountain of tears, that I might weep day and night for the slain of the daughters of my people. Oh, that I had in the wilderness a lodging place of wayfaring men, that I might leave my people and go from them. For they be all adulterers, an assembly of treacherous men, and they bend their tongues like their bow for lies, but they are not valiant for the truth. Right? And that's what we got. You got our men who are not valiant for the truth. You got women who want to go off and be adulterers and adulteresses, etc., etc. Time goes on. Assembly of treacherous men. Right? An assembly of treacherous men. Just wicked. All out wicked. You know, you go to church, you wicked. You Christian, you wicked. You Islam, you wicked. Buddhism, all that is wicked. Taoism is wicked. The ways of this world is wicked. Selling your soul, wanting to become rappers and gain all the fame and riches in this world is wicked. You understand? You want to seek the pleasure of this life, you're wicked. Period. Verse 3, it says, and they bend their tongues like their bows for lies, like their bow for lies, but they are not valiant for the truth. You got men out here that bend their tongues for lies, man. They so quick to tell a damn lie. They so quick to indulge their minds with lies, with the philosophies of this world, with zodiac signs, and believing that they this, that, and the third, and that they got the whole block to themselves. You know? But it says, but they are not valiant for the truth. That's tough. It says, upon the earth, for they proceed from evil to evil, and they know not me, saith the Lord. Right? They proceed from evil to evil. That's our people. They proceed from evil to evil. Everything they do is evil to evil. They smoking evil. Then, after they smoke, well, let me put it like this. They go to church or come right out the mosque. You know, just got done with Ramadan. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, they go home, get that cigarette, smoke that cigarette. They get that phone call from that man or from that woman. They go over to their house, you know, get into some nasty stuff. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, homeboy come home from work, sees this woman with you. Now you getting shot up. You know, you stuck in your madness and your folly. You know what I'm saying? It says, for they proceed from evil to evil, and they know not me, saith the Lord.
Where's your pen?
They know not me, saith the Lord.
Right there.
Right? It says, take ye heed every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother, for every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders. right? And they will deceive everyone his neighbor and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies and weary themselves to commit iniquity, right?
Later on, we'll talk about it.
Good idea. But that's what they do, man. Our people don't have no knowledge of this truth. Our people don't have no. They're deceived by their own vain opinion. They're deceived by their own wickedness, by their own folly and madness, because of the things that they've experienced in their lives. But when we tell our people according to history, archaeology, experience that we've experienced as a whole people, they still don't want to hearken. Right? It says, and they will deceive everyone his neighbor and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies and weary themselves to commit iniquity. Let's go to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 8. Revelation chapter 11 verse 8. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Right? So that Sodom and Egypt is a spiritual Sodom and Egypt, just like America. Sodom and Egypt, where all the wickedness that happened in Egypt and in Sodom and Gomorrah is happening here in America. Marrying each other, sacrificing swine's flesh, bowing down to other gods. All this madness goes on here in Babylon the Great. It's even worse. It's even worse here. Let's go to Romans chapter 1 verse 26. Romans chapter 1. Let's see about. Bear with me. Here we are. Romans chapter 1 and verse 26. It says, for this cause God gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Right? Because that's what's going on here in Babylon. You got women with women and men with men. You got men wanting to be transgenders. You got young men wanting to be drag queens. It says, and even as they did not like to retain God and their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. Right? So that's what the people in this society do. They do things that are not convenient. They do things that are not convenient. How much more can you say it? That's playing upon tables. Things of this world that they do not matter. You understand? You want to go to college. You want to do this and get your master's, to get your bachelor's, to do this, that, and the third. Of course, you have to provide for your household, but these things should be the least of your worries. They should be the least of your worries. These things are not convenient. Verse 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God. And we know those haters of God are those that don't keep the commandments. Because why? Because if the scripture says in John chapter 14 verse 15, if you love me, keep my commandments. So what does it mean when you don't keep his commandments? That means you hate him. Right? It says despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things. Inventors of evil things. Pornography, wicked TikTok trends. All these things. It's madness. It's folly. It's inconvenient. Let's see what else it says. Backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. Right? It says without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, right? And you know, people are getting worse and worse in these last days. You know, and this is gonna continue to get worse. People think it's gonna get better. People think, oh, you know, I'm gonna just take the vaccine. The vaccine. You know, Lord willing, I don't get thrown off for saying that. But you know what it is, man. You know, we ain't sugarcoating nothing up here, man. If you wicked, you wicked. If you doing wrong, you doing wrong. And guess what? The Most High ain't hearing you. You understand? Oh, he hears me. I know for sure that this happened and that happened. No. No. According to your own opinion, no, that's not true. That's folly. That's not true. Okay? Let's go to Psalms chapter 10 and verse 40. Right? So our people are wicked. And this is going to, and their downfall is going to be during Jacob's trouble. Big time. Let me, let's go to Psalms chapter 10. Psalms chapter 10 and verse 4. So like it says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. And that's the wicked of this generation. God is not in all his thoughts. Man and woman, they don't take no thought of Yahweh. They don't take no thought of God and what he wants, aside from what they want. How they want to feel good when they go to church. How they want to feel good when they go to when they get corrected for their wrongdoings. They want to feel good. They don't want to hear harsh words. You know, I'm going to read again. Psalms 10 and 4. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after God. God is not in all his thoughts. Right? So it's not in all the thoughts of man. God is not in all the thoughts of man. They're worried about that next meal. They're worried about that next party. They're worried about the next get together, the next birthday, the next holiday that's coming up. They want to argue about the next holiday. It's madness. You know? So let's go to Psalms 14 and 1. Psalms 14 and 1, man. This is madness. Psalms 14 and 1. The fool have said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. Right? The fool have said in his heart, there is no God. You know? They don't believe in God, man. They don't believe that the Lord made the heaven and the earth. They don't believe that the Lord made the grass and the birds and the trees, man. The rainbows. They don't believe that God stopped the flood from happening. Or that he even started it. They don't believe in these things. They believe in folly. You know? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 3. Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 3. Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, and he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. So even the Lord told Ezekiel, hey, you finna go and you finna prophesy to a wicked, adulterous nation, transgressors. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you can't make these things up. Verse 4, for they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, and they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house. Yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them. So we prophesying this word, we teaching this word, and they're going to know that a prophet have been among them when all these things come to pass. Now I have 13 seconds remaining on the clock for this live video, but I'm gonna start up another live video with that. Shalawam.